Hello, and you're really welcome to ask me anything. Where Ciara had asked me about her sleep patterns. And so, Ciara, I'll just remind you of your question. You had said that your sleep patterns were very disrupted because you've gone back to college and you've got a lot of different things going on. And also, you mentioned that you suffered with swollen ankles. Anything more you want to say on that question?
No, it's probably just some advice really on juggling a number of different issues, but it probably really manifests itself in sleep, particularly with not so much getting to sleep, but more wakening up at about 5 and struggling to get over again.
Okay.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
so that's really it. And then obviously the elephant that's always in the room, Joanne, the menopause symptoms and all of that, and the impact that
Okay.
that can have.
All right, so I just got a few basic questions. So when you say that sleep is difficult, do you fall asleep easily?
Correct. Yes. Yes.
Okay. And
I would read and fall asleep. Yeah.
reads and falls asleep. And tell me then, is it usually at 5 o'clock, or can you wake at
Yes.
2 and need to go to the loo, or
Mostly 5, half 4, between half 4 and half 5.
okay. And just tell me, any broken bones?
No,
Okay. Any recent injuries?
no.
Okay, and I've asked all the medical questions already in the form, so that's grand. So tell me then, I'm just going to ask a few also other pertinent questions. So you are saying about the menopause. So where are you in your cycle of that?
I haven't had a period in a long time now. I can't actually remember the last time, and I just commenced on HRT
Okay, so you started HRT, and how old are you?
at 51.
51. Okay. And how long have you had the swollen ankles?
Oh, many years.
Many years. Okay.
Many years. I did. You asked about broken bones. I had torn ligaments in an ankle on 2 occasions, and that
Mm-hmm.
certainly contributes to swelling.
Okay. Okay. And the
But
torn
I don't.
ligaments were on both ankles?
No, same one, right?
The same one, right. And does the right foot swell more than the left?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And do you get pain in your toes?
No, more around the ankle joint on some occasions.
Okay. Okay. And tell me, how are the bowel movements?
Fine. Yeah. No, regular.
Okay. Okay. So really this kind of like swelling around the ankle, normally I would really see as being kidney and bladder, especially
Right.
kidney because we have a lot of big kidney points right around the kind of ankle point here. And also because
Mhm.
kidney can often influence the heart. These are two very, very deep organs in the body. The really deepest organ is the kidney. It is of the winter months, and it's when things are really quiet and still.
Right.
And the kidney is involved with the management of your bones, your brain, your reproductive system, which also then includes your hormones and your regulation of those said hormones. It can really manifest in your ear hearing. Do you have any problems with your ears? Any
I have
tinnitus?
very dry inner ear canal. I don't have otitis externa of the inner ear canal, very dry.
Okay, okay. And any vaginal dryness?
Yes.
Okay, so these are all common symptoms of the menopause and would be really due a lot in Chinese medicine to a depletion of the kidney energy. Kidney is split into kidney yang and kidney yin. So this kind of, do you get a lot of exhaustion or?
Um, I'm fairly active.
Mhm.
Say work full time, but I would be tired in the evenings after doing a day's work. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but
not.
no chronic exhaustion. And what
No.
about your digestion?
No, I would think it's okay.
Okay, so rather than kidney yang, I'd be looking at kidney yin. Kidney yin,
Okay.
the yin is the dark aspect. It's the female, it's the solid, it's the liquid, it's the blood of the body, it's the moisture of the body. And that together with this kidney energy, which balances the water, is to do with the water element, I'd be looking at really regulating your kidneys and nourishing your kidneys, and in that way it will help you sleep better. So you can do that by a few different things. One is making sure that you do get to bed and you are nice and horizontal quite early on. This will also help the liver, and the liver the liver is the mother of the heart. And the heart is really what regulates the circulation, and it's often where the Shen, the spirit, needs to be living for us to have a good night's sleep. So it could be any of these different systems, but because you've really got the swelling in the ankles, and you're also talking about dryness and menopause, and you're now taking HRT, I think really I would take a lot of foods for the kidneys. So I'd be looking at that kind of salty flavor. So I'd be going for having miso and seaweeds, spirulina, chlorella, plenty of oats, plenty of barley. Do you find at all you get any UTIs or kidney infections?
Yes, more recently I didn't, but more recently that has is occurring. Yes.
Okay, so all of this for me is pointing to kidney and kidney yin deficiency. So for this, we want to really kind of really nourish the kidneys. So we have that blue-black color, and the blue-black color means the seaweeds, aduki beans, black beans, black rice, black sesame seeds. So all of these will really nourish the kidneys. These are the foods that nourish the kidneys. But also remember, the kidneys is in charge of your water metabolism. So how much water are you drinking a day?
No, I'm quite good with water. Well, when I'm working from home, I am. I suppose when I'm in the office, it's probably not as good because there's public transport involved, and then I'd be like running to the toilet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so are you finding that you are got pressure on the bladder, that like when you need to go, you
Yes.
need to go? Okay, so
Yes.
again, kidney bladder, this is really pointing to kidney bladder. So for
Yeah.
that, I would recommend making barley water. Now, I'm pretty sure, Ciara, you have my books.
I do.
Yes, I thought you did.
Been around a
So
long time.
yeah, so I want you to look at either one of the books, because barley water is in both of those books, and it is like my favorite recipe for really nourishing the kidneys. So you take 2 handfuls of barley and you put 2 liters of water, bring to the boil and simmer for about 45 minutes to an hour. You can add lemon, you can add seaweed, you can add all of these things, and then you strain it and keep it in a bottle in the fridge, and
Okay.
just take half a mug, give it a shake, the bottle, take half a mug and fill it with hot water. And I want you to take a barley water every day. Okay.
Okay.
So I want you to
Yeah.
drink barley water every day to really nourish the kidneys. But that's really, that is one way of nourishing the kidneys with food. Another one is the qigong. So the qigong that we're going to be practicing for sea swimmers in November, and for building bones, because remember, the kidneys are in charge of the bones, which can begin to deteriorate through menopause. Have you had
Yeah.
any bone scans? Any DEXA
I haven't.
scans?
No.
Okay. Yeah. So let's really kind of build those bones and build the kidneys. So we're going to be
Mhm.
practicing Qigong for that. But right now, let's do some self acupressure. Are you ready to start?
Correct.
Are you
Yeah.
ready to give?
Yes.
Because I don't know where we're going to go with these points. You and your body are going to guide me. It's a two-way process. And so when I say press into these points, what I want you to do is I'll show you and talk to you about the point. You yourself will guide me to kind of different areas of your body. And I usually can pick up on what you're feeling in the Zoom. And I will really, one of the points in that area will really be talking to me, and we'll start to do those acupoints. So you will have a little, I hope, a little collection of points that you can do that will be specific for you. So even though somebody else might come to me with these symptoms, they might not get these same exact points. So the more open you can be to telling me what you feel. Sometimes when we do this, people have images, they might have memories. Please share those with me because they help to inform the treatment, because this is the body talking. We're going to be allowing the body to talk, and we're going to have a conversation with the points that we press. Okay. And so how to press a point. Have you ever done acupressure before, Ciara?
Oh, a very little, Joanne, to be honest.
Great. Fabulous. So we're going to find the point, and what we're going to do. So for example, this is a point stomach 36, just kind of 4 fingers underneath the patella there. So stomach 36. And what I might do with this one is I would hold and press. And so I want you to kind of even feel the energy flowing out of the tip of your finger through that point and into the body. And you will notice a transformation and a change. Something will shift. We may hold that point from anywhere between 30 seconds to 3 minutes while we feel a shift and a change. Okay?
Okay.
Great stuff. Okay, let's begin. So what I want you to do is I want you to sit. You can be sitting on a chair. You don't have to sit on the floor. Also, you don't have to sit cross-legged. You can sit with your feet on the floor. Just kind of get comfortable so that your back is straight and your chin is slightly down to your chest and your shoulders are dropped from your ears. And just start to give a little bit of a wobble. Give a bit of a wobble. Give a bit of a shake. And start to feel all your spine bones just beginning to settle. Feeling your sit bones, taking your attention down now, down under the belly button, right into the center of the body, and come to the perineum and really feel that perineum opening and melting like butter. And just imagine you've got a cord coming from right below the belly button down through the perineum, and it's going to go down, 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 right into the center of the earth. So you're going to be plugged into the core, plugged into the center of the earth. Now draw that up, 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 right up behind the belly button. Come up behind the sternum, up through the throat. The chin is slightly to chest. And feel that cord coming right up out of the top of the head. Feel it going up out of the top of the head, through the clouds, through the atmosphere, higher and higher, until you reach the edge of the atmosphere and pop out. Be aware of space now, of the earth spinning 1,000 miles an hour, and find its central point. So find the North Star and plug into the North Star. This is the northern axis, Southern Cross being the southern axis around which the earth rotates as it travels around the sun. So be aware and connect into the North Star, and now deep into the center of the earth. Draw up the energy from the earth and draw down the energy from the star and bring it to meet in the lower dantian, just below and behind the belly button. Now, if I was to section up the body in the lower belly, below the belly button, or the mid belly, in between the belly button and the nipples, and the upper chest, above the breasts, right up to the shoulders and the throat and the head. Where would your hands be drawn? And that's to the front or the back of the body. Where in your body is calling out for your hands to be placed? Lower, middle, or upper?
Lower at the back, my lower back.
Lower at the back. And is that on the sacrum or is that higher up towards the kidneys?
Sort of in between sacrum and kidneys.
Okay.
Probably closer to kidneys.
Well, let's start in between. Let's start going from the sacrum and up to the kidneys. rubbing all up and down that bladder meridian. Now, the bladder is the partner organ to the kidneys. And then putting your thumbs on your waist and where your middle finger falls, either side of the spine, let's just massage into those points there. Bladder 23. Massaging into these points here. And hold the points. Breathing deep down into the belly. Just below the belly button. Breathing deep below the belly button. Pressing these points, and how do the points feel? Do they feel empty or full?
Right hand side feels a little bit sharp.
Okay. And so it feels a little bit sharp.
Mm-hmm.
And is that sharp stingy or sharp like a cut?
No, more like a dull. When I press it, more like a dull pain. The other side's fine.
Okay, so that's the right side. And does it feel empty or full?
Sort of full.
Okay. Is it kind of pulsing or solid?
Solid.
Solid. And if you were to press on it, does that solidity have any give to it? Or does it feel a bit like a brick wall?
No, there's a little bit of give.
There's a bit of give. Let's ask the point. What would it like? Let's ask the point. Does it need more pressure? Does it need rubbing? Would it like to send us anywhere else in the body? Does it think it has an opinion on where these hands and fingers should go? Would it like us to stay with that point? And what's the bladder 23 point saying, Ciara?
I think just stay with this point, Joanne.
Okay. And if we were to ask this point if it had anything to say in its deep blue-black color, what would it have to say? Would it have anything to say to us?
It's maybe like more let go.
Let go.
Mm-hmm.
And where exactly in the body, when you say let go, let's go, where feels like it needs to let go a little bit?
No, more just a feeling of letting go.
Mm-hmm. The feeling of letting go.
Yeah.
And can you feel that feeling in the body?
A little bit.
And where exactly would you be able to locate that feeling?
Shoulders.
Shoulders. So let's massage that kidney 23 point, the bladder 23 point, and let's move to the side of that to bladder 52, just coming out towards the waist. So we were either side of the spine on that ridge of muscle, and now we're just coming further out to the waist, not on the waist, and rubbing across the back, bladder 23, bladder 52. Giving the kidneys a rub, sweeping over the waist and bring it down to the lower dantian under the belly button. And again, rubbing the kidneys over the waist, down to the belly button. One more time, rubbing the kidneys down under the belly button. And now holding your hands just under the belly button. Let's check into the shoulders. So how do the shoulders feel? Do they feel like they would like to let go? Do they feel tense and tight?
Yes. The left-hand side feels particularly tight.
Okay. So the left-hand side, let's move the hand up to the shoulder. Let's just massage the shoulder a little bit, squeezing and rolling, squeezing and rolling. Holding the elbow. Give a tap. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And we're going to go into the gallbladder point. So find that big muscle at the top of the shoulder and find the top of the shoulder. And we're going to press into gallbladder 21. So did you find the top of the mountain? There's a very bulgy kind of muscle at the top there.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're just going to hang out here a little bit. How does that point feel when you press into that point?
Well, hard.
Hard. And what would the point like a little bit? Would it like kind of massage, movement, tapping?
Massage, I think.
Massage. So let's use the fingers and gently massage and tap. You can use the knuckles. And now just pressing again, I want you to imagine you've got energy coming out of the tips of your fingers and going right into that point, softening that point. And like butter, just feel that point melting away. And as that point begins to melt, just start to feel your hips begin to open and all the sexual organs begin to relax. Deep down into the kidney and the bladder. Can you feel any change happening in that muscle? Can you feel any change happening in the point?
It's not as I've massaged, it's not as tight as it was at the start. It feels softer.
Just find that point and just hold and press that point. Feel the resistance of that point, and when you get to the resistance of the point, stop exactly there. You don't have to push past the resistance. Just meet the resistance and just have a conversation with that resistance. Just hang out with that resistance. What is it you could be holding on to? What is it that that point might not want to let go of? Does anything come to mind when I ask those questions?
Just like some resentment, possibly.
A resentment.
Holding on to that.
So let's just ask the point. We'll just say you're holding on to the resentment. Is that true? You're holding on to the resentment. And just see what happens with that point. We're not asking the point to let go. We're not saying let go of that resentment. We're just being curious. Is it the resentment that it's holding on to? And just the first thing that comes to mind. Just let the point soften. This is just an energetic conversation with the point. Massage around. Squeeze. Squeeze, release. Squeeze, release. And come back to the point. And just feel a little how the point has changed. And ask again. What is it you're holding on to? Just ask the point. What is it you're holding on to? And see what the point says. Just let the point speak. And do you still have resistance in the point?
Not so much, no.
Not so much. So we ask the point itself, is that enough? Would you like more support? Would you like more pressure? This is what we're asking, and then you relay it back to me.
No, I think it's good now. Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, let's give a squeeze. We just ask the point anywhere to move on to. Let's do the other shoulder. So let's massage in. Let's talk to this other point. Same as squeeze, 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 squeeze. You can tap. And how do you feel when you talk to your body? Have you talked to your body before?
No, no, probably not. No, apart from when I'm doing the qigong with you in the mornings, but
But your body's definitely talking to you, isn't it? At 5:30, you wake up in the morning.
yeah,
Definitely having a conversation with you. Definitely telling you something. So let's see. Let's see if we can listen to what that 5:30 awakening is about. So pressing into the point, just ask the question. What can I do? What do you need, body? Asking your body and just leaving space to see what the body responds. What do you need, body? Where would you like my hands to go next? And just see where on the body your hands would like to be. Maybe they like to stay where they are and hold the point where they are. Maybe they want to go to the back or the front. Just let this body speak.
I think to the stomach area.
To the stomach area. Lovely. So we just finish off here. Squeezing, release, squeezing, release. And let's do a little bit of qigong. I'm just feeling like the neck and the head needs a little bit of movement, and then we're going to move to the stomach. So what I want you to do is look at your fingers and then look away over the other shoulder. And drawing the fingers close, looking over the other shoulder. Drawing the fingers, look over the shoulder. And again. Last time, push it away. Now drop the hands, come over to the other side, looking at the fingers, and look over your other shoulder. And can you feel this moving and opening the points that you just pressed?
Yes, because I feel my shoulders are very tight, just sitting on a laptop all day.
And drop the hands, and we're going to come down to the belly now. We're going to come down to the belly. So here's the belly. Here's my belly button. I want you to put one hand over your belly button, and I want you to come just one palm above. And I want you to just hold that point. Just hold that point, either with your thumbs or your fingers or your whole palm. We're going to imagine plenty of warmth going into that point. This is the great vent. So really kind of venting something, getting it out, letting it go. So just connecting in with your shoulders, feeling the release from your shoulders. What your body was asking for was to let go. Your kidneys wanted to let go and sent you up to your shoulders. We use the gallbladder 21 point to let go. And now we come down to CV12, the great vent, to see what resentments, what things are tightly stored in the solar plexus. So let's just circle around the solar plexus. And how does the body feel when I say we're going to ask what it's holding on to? What's the resentment? Do you feel like the body closes up and retracts and contracts? Or does it feel relaxed and expansive, excited?
Somewhere in between. Not, you know.
Yeah, somewhere in between. So let's hold the point and really check into that point. And to a little voice inside us. It's given space to speak. It's given space to feel. Perhaps to have an emotion, a memory, feeling. And just checking into that point. What would that point like? Would it like thumb pressure? Would it like tapping? Would it like holding? We'll just start with what it needs physically.
Holding.
Holding. So just doing what we're doing. Holding. And emotionally, if we were to ask the point what it needed with support, what could you see in your mind's eye? How could you support this point? Is there anything that you could do that comes to mind? Anything you'd like to vent?
Probably some work-related issues.
So should we make a sound? Should we let it out? Let's ask the point. What would it like? Would it like some physical? Would it like to use some sound? Or would it like to use some words? Would it like to talk and explain? Would it like to pinpoint exactly what it'd like to let go of? What it's cross and wants to vent about? Now is your time. Go for it, CV12. Say what's on your mind there. Ask the point. And don't let the mind circumvent. Let the point, that voice deep inside you, that's the one we're talking to.
I think the holding is good in terms of just like providing that sort of sense of comfort and physical support and acknowledgement. I think that just even acknowledging, just being acknowledged.
Acknowledgement. Yeah. And we acknowledge that voice deep inside us. We just acknowledge we're going to spend a little time hanging out here, giving support, giving space to that voice, acknowledging that voice. That's great. And how does it feel when you acknowledge that voice inside you through this point?
It feels long overdue.
Long overdue. And in the shoulders, do you feel anything? In the kidneys or anywhere else in the body?
No, just
More,
like a settledness.
more an emotional settledness,
Yes.
more of a feeling.
Yeah.
An overall feeling of settledness.
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to sweep down here. Oh, before we leave the little voice, thank you very much. Not such a little voice. I don't think it likes being called little. We'll acknowledge the voice and ask, is there anything else that voice deep inside needs to say at this moment, or just the acknowledgement is enough? We'll just check in before we move on anywhere else.
No, it's just well done for the acknowledgement, really. An acknowledgement of the acknowledgement, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does. Acknowledgement of the acknowledgement. We hear you. We hear you. Now sweep it down to the lower belly. And we're just going to finish off with a couple of points that I want to do that I think will be. I think that was a really good conversation with your body. And I think, like you said, it was long overdue that your body, you wanted to talk. And now you've opened the door and had a conversation that was, as you said, long overdue. So we don't need to have everything on the table at once, but that I want you to do that routine. How simple a routine. Rubbing the kidneys, bladder 23, bladder 53, bladder 23 and 52. Coming up, doing the shoulders, gallbladder 21, and then coming down to the CV12 and just seeing what the vent, like it's the great vent point, seeing what it wants to say. I think that's a really great collection. And I just want to
in
also,
that order, Joanne?
yes,
Sorry,
in that order.
In that order. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, in that order. And really, you could do that twice a day. And you could do it 3 times a day. You could do it at work. You know, that kind of, once you really get the hang of it, you're just going to be going in and then having a little chat with the voice inside. And so you can do that 2 or 3 times a day, morning, lunchtime, and evening before you go to sleep. And I just want to show you a few points that I think will help you with the kidney and bladder and the physicality of sleeping. Okay, so I want you to do these points as well. I want you to massage into the ankles. So the point that is behind the ankle bone and in between the ankle bone and the Achilles tendon. Okay.
On the inside?
On the inside. I want you to massage that, but I also want you to do it in a way that is using your thumb and your index finger. So you're actually massaging the bladder point on the outside of the foot, in between the ankle and the Achilles. Do you get that?
Now that feels very hard, the inside, not the outside.
It feels very hard. Okay, so this is the source, not sore as in ow, but source point for the kidneys. Okay, so behind the ankle bone and in between the Achilles. And so just kind of having a conversation with that point as well, and spending a little bit of time with kidney 3 and kidney 7. Kidney 7, you just come up as if you're drawing a line, and you're not on the Achilles, you're just kind of in that kind of groove. So I just want you to massage that groove. Just massage that groove from kidney 3 up to kidney 7. And I want you to do that on both feet.
On both sides.
Okay. So we go kidney 3 and we come up to kidney 7. So rubbing big kidney points, So helping the kind of swollen ankles that you get. And helping the blood and the chi move through the ankles. And obviously for the Qigong in November and December, we're going to be doing a lot of kidney moves, a lot of kidney points to help the circulation come from the feet back up to the heart. And so if you imagine that the body is split into kind of 2, your hips are the same as your shoulders, your knees are the same as your elbows, these are your ankles, and these are your toes. So it's kind of the same thing. Your legs and your arms are kind of the same. So if you imagine the points that you were doing for the kidney, you're now going to do for the heart. So where I'm pressing here is, if I was to draw a line from the inside of the little finger I'm going to come underneath the crease, and I'm in between that big lumpy tendon and the tendon to the outside. So you should be able to feel kind of like a little hollow. So it's like you can really connect with kidney 3 and heart 7. So connect those 2 points. So even though you're pressing 1, I want you to connect heart 7 with kidney 3. So do you remember kidney 3 was behind the ankle bone?
Mm-hmm.
So, and also you could involve, I'm really feeling my kidneys as well, and my lower belly and my sexual organs. I'm really kind of sinking into the power of those. Breathe into that great vent point. Oh, this is all coming together. Do you feel a kind of integration of the body?
Yes, yes.
Yep, me too. Let's go to the other side. So again, inside of the little finger, come to in between those 2 tendons, underneath the crease of the wrist, and press. And again, we're just pressing until we feel the resistance, and then we feel the point melt like butter. And I want you to connect that point that you're pressing with. Just be aware of the kidney 3 point on the same leg. And as you become aware of the kidney 3 point, I want you to take your attention to your kidneys, to your sexual organs, and to the great vent point on the belly. Integrate and connect all those points up together. And you tell me when the body feels like it's come to a completion. You'll feel a kind of, you'll feel when it's complete. So just check in with the CV12 point and feel when there's a kind of shift and a sensation of almost kind of like a In fact, I'm really getting it through that that's the noise we need to make. We need to make the sound for the heart. So each of the organs has a sound, as I know that you know, Ciara. So we're going to inhale through the nose, and then we're going to exhale. Ha, H-A-A-A-A-A. Ha. And imagine that sound coming out from below the belly button and from the CV12 point in the hara. Inhale, exhale, ha. Inhale, exhale, ha. Bring both the hands back to CV12. Just connect in with CV12 and just relate to me how this is feeling now.
Like calmer, more settled, or relaxed.
Let's have a little chat to the voice inside that wanted to be acknowledged. Anything that this voice has to say at this moment?
Like a thank you for taking the time.
And you did, yeah, and you did. So give a little bow to the voice inside. Feel the little voice giving you a bow back. Sweep the hands down to the lower belly. Hands are under the lower belly. Take your attention to the perineum and the cord that's connecting you to the center of the earth. Unplug from the center of the earth and roll it back in. Roll that energy back in and just tuck it behind the belly button, and be aware of the cord through the center of your body coming up behind the sternum, through the throat and the top of the head. Take it up and feel the connection with the North Star. Unplug and draw the energy down through the top of the head, through the throat, behind the sternum, behind the belly button, down to the lower dantian. Feel that beautiful ball and pearl of energy in the lower dantian. Feel the energy rising up to that lovely great vent point above the belly button and back down to the lower dantian below the belly button. And just coming back completely into the body, opening the eyes. So how are you doing, Ciara?
Great. No, it was lovely. It was quite unexpected and just very relaxing. I saw like at the end like purple and green
Mm.
and just a sense of settledness, I think that's probably the word. Settledness, yeah, if that's even a word.
Yeah, we'll take it because I think we can feel the sentiment of the world, the settledness. And those purple and green, the ultraviolet light is the color of the universe, often related to the triple heater. And the triple heater integrates. So it's kind of integrating now into the body, that connection that you've made with your body. Okay, you took the time to put in the question to ask me. We made the time and you turned up. You turned up with your body and had a conversation with your body. And I think that that's just the first step now of having a regular conversation with somebody that you love inside of you. You can do that every day. So this integration, that ultraviolet light, you can imagine that that is just pouring through your body. And the green energy, now that's surprising because the green is related to the liver. I was very drawn to the liver at the beginning of the treatment, but I kind of felt we needed to kind of start in the kidney and the heart area. So this is a treatment plan for you to do. And I think it's really manageable. I think it's really nice and easy to remember. Do it in the morning, do it in the evening before you go to bed. And obviously in the morning, you can be a bit more vigorous, you know, and you can really kind of shake it up and you can tap it and coming here, having a conversation just to check in, how you're doing, anything. Just be aware of any memories because this is the solar plexus. And the solar plexus, just the same as the psoas and other muscles in the body, they can hold memories. You know, say I've fallen down the stairs. My body will have a memory of falling down the stairs, you know, and I can, the memory could bring with it a big trauma that I could have fear every time I saw the stairs, which would really activate that first trauma. So what we want to do is actually know what the trauma is and then unpack that, and so that the body knows that now stairs are different. You're going to approach the stairs differently and you're going to have a different outcome, so that we don't live in the past controlled by our trauma. We can unpack it very safely. And I mean trauma in a way that might be stress, you know, stress from work, stress from juggling family, just being kind of run ragged, you know. So having that conversation with yourself and really listening to the solar plexus and giving support in that way, I think is going to really help with the sleep. And Ciara, you know, do ask me anything again, you know, so come back and ask me like in a month's time. Let's see how your sleep is going, and we can do another one of these.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. I've never would have probably have done yoga now, but I've never would have checked in with the stomach before, to be honest. You know, you would have possibly done, you know, stretches and shoulders and that, but never really the stomach. So I find that very interesting, to be honest, you know, and comforting, really.
Very comforting, very comforting. So come back here and remember, because I know that you're in chi flow, so I know you know these things, but the stomach and spleen is the mother energy. And we were very much connected into the earth, the mother earth. And so feel that comfort, even though you're doing the gallbladder points, you're doing the kidney points on the feet, kidney points on the wrist. Feel and connect with the comfort.
And I suppose, John, that is indicative because I have an empty nest now after for so your whole duty and role and has it's significantly changed in terms of the motherhood role. It's a very different beast now than it would have been
So now
past
is your
20.
time to mother yourself. Now is your time to really mother yourself. Really hold that part of you that perhaps hasn't been heard in a while. Give it a voice. Okay, may you be happy, may you be well, may I be happy, may I be well, and may all beings everywhere be happy, safe, and well.